Hey, aloha, this is Chris with Poolbright, and we're going to do a little bit of a refresher and an introduction to the JANDY wall-mounted controllers, and this is primarily used for our guys here in the company so that they are comfortable with using the technology. Alright, so you can walk up onto this wall-mounted controller and you will see this display here, and it's really important to check your time and your date. And it should be, within 5 minutes. It should be really closely matched with what your phone says. If you regularly see that the time every few weeks is going out of sync, or you see the date is going out of sync, it can mean that the CPU here is beginning to fail, and it's an indication that it needs to be updated and upgraded with a new one. And just to clarify, if you see the date and the time off, you don't have to rush out and get a new one. All right? It's just if it continuously happens over a couple-month period, then you know that it's time to start looking at that. So this is going to cycle all the way through its various modes. If you walk up and you press the bottom button and select, it'll give you a choice of what pieces of equipment you want to turn on or off, and you can go down. And if you want the spillover to work, you can press that on, and it says the spillover will be disabled while the spa is on. Now the reason why that's happening is because they don't want to, it's assuming that it's heating the hot tub right now, and it doesn't want to pour a bunch of heated water from the hot tub into the pool, so it's going to disable that feature, which is really, really nice. Okay, right now you can see, however, that the spa heat and the pool heat are disabled. So if I go up or down with my right or left arrows, and then I select whichever one I want to turn on, it's giving me the option to enable my heat and go up or down using these arrows. And of course, if I go way up, and we're going to test this because the homeowner has some guests coming in, I'm going to press select. Yeah, I'd love it to be 97, and you notice that this little light here turns red. When it turns red, that means that the heater back in the room is firing. Of course, you'd want to go back there and physically have a look-see and make sure that it's going on, and you put your hand up and over the exhaust vent or near the exhaust vent, by a few feet, and just make sure that it's warm. I am, however, going to turn this off and turn the spa off as well. Now, you'll get this message: spa will remain on during the heater cool down. The reason why it's doing that is because it doesn't want to turn those valves and stop moving water through a very hot heater, right? Because then that heater will superheat the water that's stuck and not moving through that little chamber, through the manifold, and that can cause problems with the unit. So those 3 stars at the top mean that it's in transition. It's getting ready to go from spa mode to pool mode, but it's not going to do that until it thinks that the heater has had a sufficient chance to cool itself down. All right, so let's go back, and we go back by pressing the middle button on the left side. If we want to reprogram the run times for certain pieces of equipment, we'll go down to menu, and we'll go there. Then we'll go down to program. We'll choose program. Filter pump is the first thing that comes up, and so we go into filter pump, and it tells us, oh look, we've already got one program set from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and that works real well for us in this particular pool, so we're going to leave it. Let's make believe we weren't happy with that. We're going to go ahead and come down and we'll delete it. This is pretty self-explanatory. You press that and then it begins blinking, and if you decide, you know what, I really don't want to change anything, then you just back out of it here using your back button. Okay, if you wanted to delete this program, you could go down to delete, press that, and it would get rid of it for us, which we don't want to do. Okay, so we're going to back out here again. If we need to set the time or set the temps, it's all right here. It's all pretty good, well marked, very user friendly. And the things that really make this particular unit very, very helpful over some of the stuff that Pantera has. Pantera has a lot of great stuff as well. But this is really helpful to us that are serving vacation rentals, because we can pick the program group and say, you know what, let's say the owner is away. And so we'll keep that in group A for away. In this case out here, we say A for aloha, which means people are coming in. And we have a whole bunch of things programmed to come on when they press buttons, as opposed to when they leave. We'll go down, press group B, and everything goes back to kind of its skeletal functions, meaning there's no light programs, there's no heating programs, and all of that. I'm going to go back in just to make sure that we're still where we want to be, which we are. And that gives you an overview of how to use this. It certainly has a lot more functions than what I've just showed you there, but again, for you guys here in the company, that'll give you just a rough overview. All right, aloha.